So what I wanted to play with is how much I could fool the audience, for an hour. Sid is such a perfect Millie because she's she's able to disarm you and make you think she's one way. And then the fact that Amanda has this amazing tiger inside of her.
Great to speak with you again.
Good to see you again, Russ. How you been?
I've been good. How about yourself?
Yeah, I'm happy. I got a movie coming out in
Eh,
theaters. I'm
Yeah, I was
thrilled.
about to say, I hear you have a fun movie about to play in theaters.
I
So,
do. I do. I'm very happy with it.
well, speaking of that fun movie, I have seen The Housemaid,
Oh, good.
and it was a blast. It was a lot of fun. Uh, my first question just about the film is like it really does play with audiences' expectations in a lot of fun ways. Can you talk about just how you wanted to do that and finding that good balance?
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard baked into that book, and then which went into the script. So the structure is already there. So what I wanted to play with is how much I could fool the audience, for an hour.
Yeah.
Because what's great about that story that Frida McFadden wrote is she makes you root for everything that you should not be rooting for, and then she makes you pay the price.
Yeah.
And that's where the fun comes in. It's the retribution for that.
That's very true. There's definitely moments that it's like, should I be rooting for this? But there
Exactly.
you are.
There you are. See? Pulled it off. And because of that great cast, though, without that cast, I couldn't have done it.
Well, actually, speaking of that cast, I wanted because like everyone's great, but I wanted to address specifically, Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. They were the perfect casting choices as those leading ladies. Can you, in your own words, just talk about why, in your eyes, they were the perfect choices for those roles? Because they
Yeah.
got to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, Sid is such a perfect Millie because she's she's able to disarm you and make you think she's one way. When she just plays kind of sweet and innocent and kind of down on her luck, you buy it because
Yeah.
she has her great look and she just kind of underplays everything in a beautiful way so that you know, she is a stereotype that you meet, the poor, helpless thing. And then Amanda was able to bring sort of I'm the stereotype kind of kooky, rich wife, who will be kind of fun to work with. And maybe I'll be, whatever, your pal. And then the fact that Amanda has this amazing tiger inside of her that can flip this switch. And then same with Sid, when pushed to the brink as Millie, she's not at all the person you think. So they're able to play a stereotype and then completely subvert it because their talent underneath that is so much deeper.
There are obviously multiple books in this series. Do you have aspirations for continuing with these films? Have there been any conversations?
Oh, we've talked about it. Yeah, I mean, look, I love the character of Millie, and Millie is set up very well to have more adventures. And Frida wrote more books, like you say. So yeah, I mean, we'll see how this movie does. It all hangs on that. But
Yeah.
touch wood.
Adapting from book to movie or show or whatever it is always comes with changes. So when you were doing this, what were kind of figuring out those changes and when to deviate and when was best to do that? What was that process like?
Yeah, we stuck pretty close to the book and the structure of the book. The main things we changed, we added on to the ending. So we expanded the ending because the book ends very satisfyingly for a book, but not satisfyingly enough for a movie. You still needed the monster in the house, basically. And then no spoilers, but what Millie is sort of made to do up in the attic worked in the book, but it wasn't harsh enough for the movie screen in order to get the audience bloodthirsty enough to want the retribution that they get at the end.